Hello, welcome to this first stream where I'm talking to a musician, fellow YouTuber. Daisy, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Daisy Pepper. I'm a bassist and sometimes guitarist from the UK, as you can tell, and I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you for making time to be here. I usually say hi to everyone when I start a stream, so I'm going to see who's here. Ingvar, welcome. Silent Wood. Sorry, I don't think I rescheduled the stream at all, but sorry if that happened for you. Yason, Melina Munoz, welcome. Patron 40 Silver, welcome. Salty Showers, Leonard, Lord Vorador. Oh, Mr. B. How's it going? Matt Knowles, Travis, Byron, Yellow Clip, and Joe, Purple Dracos. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Mark, welcome. Okay, so this is my first time interviewing someone, well, that I can remember. So thanks for being part of this. I'm going to try my best to be a good interviewer, but figure we'll just go with the flow, have a laid-back discussion about music.
Absolutely.
Be kind of structured. I have an outline, but so first of all, I'm terrible with geography, but where are you from in the UK?
So I'm from the town, Bishop Stortford, which is in Hertfordshire, which is the county. I'm trying to get that right in my head as well.
Sorry, I'm not trying to dox you or anything. I just
no. It's just I haven't had to say it like that in such a long time of town, county kind of thing. So yeah,
okay.
Hertfordshire, Bishop Stortford is where
So
I'm
is
from.
that north, south?
It's south east. I think we are southeast. If that's really incorrect, then that is. But I'm pretty sure it's southeast.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Okay.
So.
No, exactly. But anyone else in the UK is probably like, oh my gosh, you got that wrong.
No worries. So the way I found you was through your Muse cover of Hysteria, which is it's probably the most difficult bass line I've ever tried to play. And I cheat when I play it. I use a pick. You did it all with finger picking, so that blew my mind. But I guess my first question is, do you have any advice or tips for someone like me who's trying to learn to be better at finger picking? Especially fast and...
Yeah, 100%. I think I went through the phase of not being able to play it with my fingers either. There was even a point where I had learnt to do it with my fingers, and then I didn't play it for ages, and I couldn't anymore, so I started using a pick live in some gigs, just because it was just easier for stamina for the rest of the songs and everything. But I think the biggest thing I learnt was to actually slow it right down, because you'd be surprised it's not actually the stamina that's an issue. It's more that you kind of get a bit overwhelmed of this riff is super fast and you're worried about these hands coordinating. So I kind of say if you slow it really down to the point where you can hear every note individually and make sure you're getting it clear and concise, that means you can then speed it up and you'll be just as good at playing the riff as you were before anyway. Because obviously everyone focuses on the riff itself with the left hand, but then no one focuses on the coordination part of it, because it's really easy to muck up on it, obviously, because if you play these at a different time, they're going to be out of sync. So
yeah,
it's definitely a good idea to slow it right down and nitpick at every bit, especially the E string part, the low E string part, because the going between the two strings can really throw you off sometimes, because you can kind of hit them at different times. So definitely a good idea to slow it right down, and also just practice it over and over and over again until your hand stops hurting.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely, that's where I always mess up, is going to the low E string, because you're reaching across the whole neck. But yeah, I have a problem with patience, I guess. When I do slow stuff down, I play through it a couple times and I'm like, this is taking so long.
I do the exact same. And that's what I did. That's why I just gave up and then just used the pick for a long time. But then obviously I did the YouTube video and I was like, okay, I kind of have to learn it again. So I literally that day, I can't even, like the day of that video was the hottest day of the year here in the UK. And so it was like, that was my millionth take, honestly, because it was just so hot. And it was making like me frustrated because I'd been playing it so much, practicing before recording. So
Right.
it took a while. That's why at the end of the video, when I'm like, end it, I'm super chuffed with myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did it.
Yes, but, I know that feeling when you finally get that good take.
Yeah, I knew it.
Well, you nailed it.
Thank you.
So all the work paid off. It's especially difficult with that song, like you were talking about jumping across strings, because you also, on bass especially, you need to mute the strings that aren't playing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Working that into, do you have any tips for like how to work that into, or do you think about which fingers you're going to use to mute the strings, or does it just kind of naturally happen now?
Yeah, so I kind of do this thing called raking. So you kind of like mute the strings as you come back, and also with your left hand, you'd be surprised how much muting you can do when you're holding down on the strings and that. So people play the chorus really wrong, actually. Like I've seen so many covers where people aren't like play it. So there's a lot of notes in the chorus that people don't realise that are there.
Probably me. Played it wrong.
I didn't actually sort of. I don't really go like pay much attention as to what notes people are playing in it. I just enjoy watching it. But sometimes I just notice when people are playing it like really like they're just skipping a ton of notes, and it makes it harder to have the more notes in it, obviously. But the notes that it's playing are actually not too bad to kind of do the whole muting thing with, because you're doing the octaves and they kind of mute themselves as they go on anyway. Also, releasing finger tension off of the fretboard, that can sometimes help too, rather than like holding them down. Ow. So I'm not used to having headphones in.
No worries.
So yeah, it's definitely something I think. Everyone's saying I've got echo, by the way, I think.
Oh, that might be my bad. Here, let me plug in my headphones.
I've literally just I had my window down.
Sorry, whatever you just said, I didn't hear it. Sorry, I'm used to being on Zoom, and Zoom has like that auto cancellation where if you have speakers coming in, you don't have to worry about it. But my microphone's going straight into OBS, so it's picking up everything twice.
Every single thing.
Sorry about that.
It's all fixed now, apparently. Okay, cool.
Oh, Dakota Allen, thank you. If you would have sent me a text, I wouldn't have seen it. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
All right. Looks like it's better now.
Lovely.
Cool.
I didn't even realize because I had my Zoom was like open a bit more.
Well, hopefully everything we've said so far was like easy to understand at least.
Was it audible? I hope it was.
If it had
I hope it was
like
audible.
a nice delay on it.
Oh yeah, you can't get enough delay of that,
So, okay. Obviously, you have really interesting music taste. You are into a lot of the alternative rock bands. Well, at least for me, like Muse, 21 Pilots, System of a Down are all kind of alternative. But
Yes.
And I want to talk about that later. But also, you have some of those what I would call like early 2000s bar rock cover band, like. Well, it's because it's songs that I used to play in a cover band like 10 years ago.
Right, yeah.
Audio Slave. What's that song? Show Me How to Live.
Yeah,
And
classic.
Hard to Handle. So how did you get into like music like that? Jet?
So it's funny you say that they're cover band songs because they literally are songs that I've done in cover bands, which is why I covered them because I already knew them. So I was like, I normally do those songs on days where I can't really be bothered to like learn something in proper depth. So I go with something that I'm pretty familiar with,
nice.
that I've been playing in cover bands and stuff. So literally things like, you know, Hard to Handle and the Jet One, those are songs I actually gig and I've had to learn in previous times. So it's kind of handy for me to have a video of them as well, just to look back on, and if I forget, then I can watch myself play it again,
yeah.
remember it, and
that's a good point. I never thought of it like that, but that's a good idea.
Easy cover material, that is.
So that leads me to my next question. How did you get into playing guitar and bass?
Well, it's kind of like a really long story in a way, because I've always been into music, always, since I was literally tiny, and I started guitar when I was 7. And I had a bright pink Strat, those little tiny 3/4 size ones, because I love the colour pink.
Nice.
And
I still have a pink bass. I actually bought it for my wife, but I use it now. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. I love that. I don't think I have anything pink since, which is actually sad. But I don't have it anymore. But I had this little tiny guitar, and I stopped playing after about a year, I think. It was a year. I was so small, because I just didn't get it. Like, I was just not getting it. I probably would have still got it if I'd carried on a bit more and everything, but I was one of those kids that did a lot of clubs, so it's kind of one of those things, I'm enjoying it the least, so get rid of it and carry on whatever else I was doing at the time. Shouldn't have done that, because I'd probably be a shredding legend by now, but you know.
I imagine for kids, like, the melodic instruments are harder to learn, because like I started on drums, all you have to do is hit stuff at first, you know, so It's not quite as complicated.
Exactly. So I stopped that, and then I picked up kind of ukulele and guitar again, acoustic guitar, at 12, 13, ukulele at 12, and I realised that I was kind of getting that quite easily. Little hands, little fretboard, kind of works. And then I picked up acoustic guitar, but I didn't play acoustic guitar properly. I played my ukulele chords on acoustic guitar, and I figured out. This is really shameful, and this is the first time I'm ever saying this. I used to put a capo, I can't remember what fret, maybe the 7th or 9th fret on guitar, and if you played ukulele chords, they'd be in the same pitch as a ukulele.
Oh, so yeah, 5th fret.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the top 4 strings all tuned the same.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so I used to do that for a hot minute on guitar, and then I started to actually,
There's nothing wrong with that.
There is everything wrong with that. I'm 13 years old. At the big age of 13, I have the ability to learn chords, and I just couldn't be bothered. So then I decided to grow up, and I learnt the chords, and then I started getting lessons, and then I started, I had my little pink guitar at the time, and then I think I got an electric, but I still carried on acoustic. And then at my secondary school, which is high school, I joined a bass club. One of my music teachers was a bassist, and he started up a bass club, and I joined it, and they had a few basses for us to try out. So then I played it, and he was like, "Hey, you're a natural." And kind of like, and I still remember the way he like said it, because he was like, "You're picking things up really quickly, you're a natural," and stuff. And it twigged, like I remember that, like I went home and I was like, I need to get a bass. Like I actually need to. Like that moment was the moment I was like, this is my instrument. And I went out and bought a bass. I bought a Ibanez SR, I want to say like 300 or something, but one of the older-ish ones. And that was my first bass. And I got lessons, and that was that. So I started at 14 with the bass, and then I started picking up electric guitar again, which was good, because I'm not really an acoustic player, you know. I had acoustic lessons, and I'm a very rocky person, so I was kind of like, I should really be playing electric, so I started that.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with acoustic. Like, I go and play riffs on it instead of whatever I'm supposed to play on it.
Yeah, like I literally have a top 10 riffs to play on acoustic guitar video, and all it is me playing electric guitar riffs on an acoustic guitar that sounds good.
No way. Is that on your channel?
It is.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
No, it's fine. I sort of partnered up with the brand Tanglewood, and they lent me a guitar to use in it.
Oh,
and
nice.
I do have, Fender did send me an Acoustasonic Jazzmaster, and I do use it, but I'm just not confident enough on it to record anything and like post it, because I just know I'm not it on acoustic guitar. But I'm really grateful they sent it, and I love it. It's really good, and honestly, people should get it because it's really nice. But I just I need to like learn some electric riffs on it, I think.
Nice. It's cool to have that self-awareness, because that's something I don't have very well. Like, I have so many covers that I've put up on YouTube, like since YouTube started, that I'm so embarrassed by now, but I don't remember my password, so I can't take them down.
I actually really no, dude, I'm the same. Like I actually started YouTube in 2012. And I had an old channel. I used to do, but that was before I was a musician. So what did? I did like makeup videos and stuff. Super embarrassing. They all still exist, but they're all privated, thankfully, because they could not be on the internet right now. They're horrendous. So I did recently go through and private a bunch of old covers though, because some of them are just really not good.
Right. You don't want that to be the first one someone stumbles upon.
That's what I mean.
Like,
some of them were still getting quite a bit of views, and I was like, you know what, I need to take this down before it gets like too many views. And it had the dislikes were speaking for themselves. Joe saying must find old channel, because I did bring this up on my Patreon the other day. Like these videos are mental. My old ones, my makeup and stuff. They are.
That's funny. Yeah, I know how that goes. Oh, Rosie's here. Sorry.
No, that's cool. I keep forgetting to like look at the chat.
Rosie's my wife, by the way.
Oh, I was going to say, hi, Rosie.
And I think I've said hi to... I don't see anyone else that I haven't said hi to, but if I missed you, I'm sorry. Space Ranger, hi. All right. So, anyway, that's really cool that your school had a bass club.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for that... I mean, I learned songs... I learned Banana Pancakes by... what's his name? Oh my gosh, what's his name?
I have no idea.
Jack Johnson.
Oh, okay.
And there's so many J's, and it was just like, I was like, which J? And also Gold on the Ceiling. I can't remember who that's by. Who's that by? I'm really bad with names.
I could Google it real quick, but...
It's like something to do with black
Gold
ceiling.
on the Ceiling.
Gold on the Ceiling.
Oh, the Black Keys.
The Black Keys. See, there's so many. Yeah, I just can't remember.
It's all right. No, my viewers know that there's no end to the things I don't know or haven't heard of. It's like everything someone brings up, I'm like, I've never heard of that.
I don't know it. No, it's fine. It is. If anyone does know it, it's very basic bass lines, but it was kind of the right bass lines to kind of get you jamming and whatnot. Right. There was no theory involved. It was just like being given, like, you know, this is some tab, this is how you read tab, and then this is how the song goes, play it. I've always had this like internal musician inside of me. Like I've always been able to listen to a song and then repeat exactly what I've heard. Like I know lyrics to a stupid amount of songs. Like the new Disney film, Encanto, right? I haven't watched it. But I saw one TikTok of the one song where there's like a woman holding bricks and stuff, and I already know the lyrics to it, and I haven't watched it.
Oh wow!
And there's like pop songs.
It's a really catchy song, then.
It is massively, but pop songs. Like I know, I don't listen to pop now, but back in the day, you know, when I was growing up, pop music was actually pretty good. You know, in terms of catchiness, you know, good old Rihanna, you know, Umbrella kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
everyone knows that.
Classic.
But I have a playlist that's got thousands of songs in it, and I just know all the lyrics to every single one of them. And I have no idea how.
Just listening to them a lot, I guess. I'm like that with songs. Like, I can't memorize songs anymore, new songs I hear. But, like, the songs I listened to a lot when I was a teenager, I can still remember every word. It's weird how that works.
But I think, what song came up? It was on a TikTok again. I'll bring it up because it's just so prevalent in these days, but a TikTok came up of Beyonce singing a song on stage with Jay-Z, and I had heard these lyrics before, and she's singing, I've never seen this performance, and she's singing these lyrics, and I knew every lyric she's singing, and I was like, but I have no idea what this song is. And I do know the song. It was Holy Grail by Jay-Z, but it was Justin Timberlake singing it. Oh. I don't remember listening to this song ever. Like, I listened to a couple of Jay-Z songs, but it was never that song. But I just recognised, obviously, Beyonce singing it, and I recognised the lyrics, and I knew them. I just knew them. And I was like, I was literally watching the TikTok. I was like, what is going on? It was like a glitch almost. I was like, I know this song, but I don't know. I know Beyonce songs, and this isn't one of her songs. So what's going on?
It's crazy how the human mind works like that.
It was buried deep.
Never know what you're absorbing, I guess.
Exactly. We're sponges, you know.
Yeah. So you started on a 4-string, I'm guessing, that Ibanez?
Yes, it was great, you know. Those basses are great, and I don't have it anymore. People always say keep your first basses, but I don't have any room, so I did get rid of it quite a while ago. But it's just because it was just like I wasn't using it. I had, you know, American Fenders at the time and stuff, and the quality of it compared to my higher end basses. I think it was when I got my status, I kind of went, I can't got to get rid of it. I think because it needs to be it needs to go to someone else that's learning, and it needs to be on their journey instead of mine. You know, I've had my time with it, and it needs to go to someone else.
Yeah, you only have so much time and so much space. You gotta sort it out.
I have no more space.
I do want to talk about your collection later too, but I have one more question about bass.
Go for it.
So you started on 4-string. How did because I've seen you playing 5-string, and have you played 6-string?
I have not played 6-string. So okay. I have played one before in a shop, a fretless one actually. I've played a fretless 6-string, but I've not played a fretted 6-string. Don't know how that works, but
interesting.
I think one day I would like to get one, but I just think I'm definitely more of a rhythm person. I've never been a melodic person. I've never got into things like jazz. I tried to, but like I said, I'm just too attached to like the sole purpose of bass itself, you know, holding down that rhythm, that groove. And even when I'm doing licks and stuff, the licks are very basic, and you know, they're not too complicated because I just quite enjoy the rhythmic aspect of them. And I know when I played that 6-string fretless, I was turning into a guitar player on it, basically.
Yeah.
And it was just like, if I got one, I probably would use it for more melodic stuff. But at the moment, I'm doing so much bass, you know, rhythm stuff, that I just don't really need one in my collection, to be honest.
Probably why you're such a good bassist, because like you realize what the place of bass is. Because I played guitar first for a long time before I ever got a bass, and so I was like, you know, trying to do too much too fast and got ahead of myself. But I was gonna ask, do you have any tips for like transitioning to a 5-string bass with that extra string? Because one of my viewers actually sent me a 6-string bass last week.
Oh, nice.
And like, it's an amazing bass, but I have no idea how to like get used to playing with the extra strings.
Yeah, I think, I mean, to be fair, I've had, how many 5-strings? I've had 3 5-strings. I had another Ibanez SR, and it was sort of a cheaper one, and you could tell because the lower string sort of rattled a lot, and it was just sort of, you could just feel that it wasn't very comfortable, so I could never really play it properly, so I got rid of it. I have an Ibanez BTB one, which is like the higher end one, and it's lovely, but I do get mad wrist pain from it because of just the neck profile is just so thick. I have tiny hands, and it's just not practical. But then I tried my Spectre 5-string, which is out of shot, and that is so comfortable. So a lot of it is based on the bass itself, but I think the important thing is to remember like sort of pivot point. I was actually teaching a guitar lesson today, and I was talking about this exact thing. When you're playing 5-string, I sort of find that like when you're going higher up on the neck, your thumb doesn't really move that much. Your hand pivots. So like if I had a neck here, if I was going higher up, it'd be like that, and if I was going lower down, my thumb would still stay in the same place. My fingers would be there. And it's the same thing with the lowest string. You just want to like kind of lift up a tiny bit more. So instead of like reaching and bending the fingers, you want to literally fan them out like that. I can't think of snapping crocodile. That's my thing, is the snapping crocodile. And then, you know, you should be able to reach up, but don't put too much pressure on them. That's another thing. People think you have to put all the might in the world to play a bass string, but you don't. It's just, you know, especially in the lower frets are a bit harder, depending on the bass. Again, it's sort of how thick the neck is.
We get tired quick if you press it too hard.
Massively.
The problem I've been having is like I'm used to the low E string, you know, being kind of the anchor, but then when you add that string under it, I guess it's just a personal thing. Like I need to get used to having that lower B string.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. Again, it just takes a bit of time, sadly. But I think with the anchor thing, you could just use the B string as your anchor, and then when you need it, you just pop up on the pickup and then go from there. I mean, I don't have an anchoring problem because I do the thumb follows the fingers technique.
Okay.
Which maybe...
You always use the upper...
Yeah.
Or the string above what you're playing?
Yeah, like you might be able to benefit from it if you find yourself struggling with getting used to that lower string because you're always anchoring on that E string. If you do your following technique, then you'll find that you're always, you know where you are. It's a good technique for, again, string muting. That's another thing.
Cool.
It's really great for that. So maybe possibly look into that if you're into trying to get in that lower string. And also 6-string, it'll, like this, I can imagine is not comfortable for a 6-string. You'd be like bending down really far.
Yeah.
So might be good for a 6-string, you know.
Cool. I'll have to try that and slow it way down when I practice.
Unfortunately. I mean, I don't like slowing things down either, don't get me wrong. Like slowing Hysteria down was painful, but especially for that second riff, it really does catch you out. Getting like the open strings in there, because it's da 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 da, but between those are the open strings, da 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 da. People miss those opens, and those are what makes it sound like really, really complicated. So if you just even slow down that one bit, it'll still help, because this finger's just playing constant that. So if you just think of it that way, you don't even have to slow it down really that much, just enough to kind of get your head around, like, okay, this is what the vibe is, and I'll speed it up slowly, and then it's all good.
Yeah. I think the most difficult part for me with that riff was that, like, you're switching which fingers doing the accent notes, and like with my limited experience, I'm always accenting with my index fingers, so like those ones that are accented with the middle finger, it was like, it's just, that's where I always get off. But like you said, I haven't tried slowing it down. So thank you for the advice.
That's okay.
It's cool to hear how much preparation, though, goes into one of your videos, because like when a viewer watches a video, you know, it's over in 4 minutes and then you move on. But
I wish they saw the whole process. I really do, because like today when I was saying, it took quite a few takes to get my cover today. It's like it's not even a 3-minute song, this cover. That's the sad thing. It took me 14 takes to get a 2-minute 58-second song. But like that just happens. That doesn't mean I'm a bad player. It's just I'm having one of those days where like this hand's just not quite aligning with what's going on here and up here. And then you get frustrated, and frustration makes things worse. That's the one thing. Please, if anyone, please try not to get frustrated with your playing, because it just happens, and sometimes it's not your fault.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to take a break and shake it out and relax.
I did that. I literally did that, because I opened my window and I sat down for a second. I was like, right, breathe. I was like, you're going to get it. Nice. You know it. It's a 2-minute song. You know it. You've been playing it. You've been practicing it. You've just learnt it. It's all good. You know the song. You know, it's what's more annoying is I've known the song since I was about 7, so I know this song is nailed in my head, and it's frustrating when like the one thing I can't play is what I'm good at, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? It's like one of my favourite songs ever, great bass line, and I can't play it.
Oh, yep.
Sensei Daisy in action.
I've been there. That's the thing, is like you do 14 takes of a 3-minute song, all of a sudden you've put in an hour or more of work just to film it, and then you
full
got the
SD
editing.
card too.
Oh, that's the worst. Full SD cards and dead batteries are always what hits you right in the middle of a good take.
Yesterday, I was literally about to press record. Both camera batteries died and my SD cards filled up, so I had to wait half an hour for them to charge up and transfer the data over before I could even press record. And I was sitting there, I was like, I've literally just spent all this time learning a song and I can't even record it.
Oh, that sucks.
2 days in a row.
Like every time if I get like 3 or 4 bad takes in a row, I'll just go format my SD card again so it's not taking up space.
Oh, it's so painful. And recording in 4K takes up so much. Like each video is 3 gigabytes. And it's like, even a 128 gigabyte SD card is just not enough for it. Like it holds.
Holy buckets. I always film in 1080, so it's,
okay, 4K is beefy. 4K is beefy. It looks great. I had to start wearing more makeup for it though, because I was in a reality. I was in for a reality shock when I went from to 4K. I was like, wow! I was like, this is crisp.
And that's why I stay in 1080.
You can see, like, do you know what's the worst is sometimes a hair falls out when you're playing. And there's, I think, at least 5 videos on my channel where I have a hair either hanging from my head or from the bass neck or something. And because it's in 4K, you can see every single follicle inside of that piece of hair. You can see everything. And it's so frustrating because I'm like, I've just recorded a great take and I've got a hair dangling down from my fretboard. I don't re-record it because it's just funny.
That might be one of those things that only you notice, though.
No, this is definitely, it's just so, it'll be like right in the middle as well.
That's crazy. So what do you film on?
So I've got my 2, I don't know if they're like, you can see them, I can see, actually, you can see them. So I've got 2 Canons. One of them is, oh gosh, I can't remember, what are they, each of them? 200D is the smaller one, which is that one. The smaller one, which is the second angle, and then a 90D is the bigger one.
Nice.
So I recently, before that, had a 700D, but that didn't film in 4K, so I got the 90D, and I love it. Sweet. The 200D, which is the smaller one, by the way, if anyone's looking for a great camera for recording, that's 4K and 60 FPS, it's super inexpensive, but like it's a proper photography camera. So if you're looking for one, Canon 200D, it's where it's at. It's awesome. Super good. Super good.
What kind of lens do you put on them?
The standard one it comes with.
Okay. I don't know what it comes with, but
it's like it's like an 18 by something zoom, 1858 sort of.
So it's a pretty wide angle. Oh, it's a zoom, so you can.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I can zoom in. Yeah, I have 2 other. I've got a macro lens as well and a super zoom one, but the lens is like. It's unnecessarily long, so it's like when you're holding the camera, it's like it's out here.
Yeah. And you have to stand like on the other side of the room just to get in the shot. Otherwise, it's just your hair.
Yeah, these are perfect for it. I mean, like the setup I've got, you can't really see it from this angle, but I like that is where the camera is, and I sit. Actually, I'm trying to see it on my Zoom thing. I sit here where the base is there. The base is on there. That's my chair, and those are my cameras, right?
Oh, okay.
That's literally where I record.
Nice. So your camera doesn't have to be that far away. That's nice.
Yeah, exactly. Because my room itself is quite. It's not narrow. Like it could be worse, but it's for the distance of like you get how camera dimensions work. It's like you could have the biggest space in the world, but depending on the lens and the camera you got, it could zoom in massively.
Yeah.
So and where I sit as well, I do sit quite far forward. So. Luckily, I found like a perfect sort of distance. I've used the same setup though since I started. Like my camera has always been there, and my seat has always been there, and I've not moved it since.
Wow, that's awesome.
Just found what works.
Okay, so I have another question. How did you get into the warning? Because Like
Oh.
the other bands that we were talking about, you know, they're kind of more radio bands. They have big labels
Yes.
and stuff, but the Warning's more of like a internet presence band,
Yes,
or at least
that's right,
they
yeah.
were. So
Yeah. So I'd always known it existed before I sort of knew them. So I can't remember how I knew they existed. I think I'd seen their cover of Atlas Rise because I love that song. Like I really love that Metallica song. And I love Metallica anyway, but I think I'd seen that cover, but like I'd not clocked it was like the Warning, you know. I was just like, oh, there's three young girls playing the same song I'm really enjoying right now. And Danny is, I think, a year older than me, so it was cool to see someone my age playing like the song I really like. And it wasn't until then again I knew their presence existed even more when I'd started social media. You know, their posts would come up every now and then and whatnot, but it wasn't clicking. And then I made my Patreon, and I made my Hysteria cover, I think at the same time Ale made hers.
Oh, okay.
So people that watch hers get recommended mine, and people that watch mine get recommended hers. And a bunch of their fans started coming over to my channel, and a few of their Patreon members joined my Patreon, and everyone started requesting, "Can you do the Warning? Can you do the Warning?" And I was like, "Yes." They let me look into them, and I was like, "Oh, this is that band that I watched do Atlas Rise years ago," sort of thing.
That's awesome. Like, I know there's a lot of things that are frustrating about YouTube, but it's really cool that like YouTube recommendations literally
It came through.
Yeah. I mean,
It
what are the
did.
odds?
Yeah, I mean, I think the guy that gifted Ale her first Spectre, he was one of my Patreons, and he actually brought them up. I think he was the first one, and he's actually the one that got me into Spectre as well, which is hilarious because now look where we are. So it's just like a full sort of circle of just like, yeah, it's just really, really crazy that it sort of happened the way it did.
That's awesome.
And, I mean, obviously I've since covered some of their songs because why not? They released the time I started covering them was when they released Choke and everything, so I then started covering them. I think Choke was my first one. I think, yeah, it was, because that's my 5-string status I used. Yeah, and then after that I just got like really sort of into them, into that. More of their fans started finding me after that, and then I got really involved in the fan base and became a fan.
Cool. Yeah, it's really cool because, you know, they started uploading to YouTube so young, and you can see their progression
Yeah,
as
definitely.
they were learning, and now they're just writing like crazy rock and roll bangers. It's
Yeah.
so cool to see how much they've improved over time.
I know. I mean, it's moments like that I really wish I had, like more people around me that played more. So like I've always said this in like replies to some of the comments on the videos. Like the way Ale writes her bass lines and plays them and stuff is so similar to my style in terms of writing as well, bass line wise anyway. And it's like moments like that, I'm just like, I really wish I had like 2 other people or 3 other people, depending on how many guitars you want, like around me that also had the same vision. And I think for them, it's just so great that they all grew up with the same taste and same passion. And I think that shows because they write together as a team. And if I had that, I would so love it. But, you know, when you don't know people, it's hard to find people that have the same passion, if you know what I mean. Like I've joined bands and the passion sort of has clashed a bit in terms of like what I want is not what they want because they've grown up a different way and everything, but they've kind of grown, like you said, together and evolved together, so therefore they've created great music together as a team, and it works out so well. So it's really great, honestly.
Yeah, it is. That's kind of the constant struggle of being a musician, and that's a thing like all of the really great bands that you know and love, it's really just lucky that all these people found each other.
Totally.
And
like I can't even begin to express how much luck it is. You have to, it's almost like most successful bands like are people that grew up together, you know, like they've known each other since they were kids, teenagers or whatever. And that's kind of why I became a session musician, because I'd kind of realized in college when I was really working on my bass, I was kind of like, I have yet to find someone that really is interested in all the same music as me, and also how I write and stuff, and also personality as well.
Yeah.
If you don't work together as people, how on earth are you going to work together as bandmates?
Yeah. It all stems from having a good relationship first, and then the music comes later.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of thought, I was like, do you know what, I should probably be a session bassist first. If I find the right band that really likes me and it works out really well, and then it just does.
Yep.
And you can't sort of stop that from happening, but I'm yet to sort of find like everything that clicks, and it just like, in that moment you're like, yeah, this is it. I'm quite chill, so I don't really mind, but I enjoy like, their music and everything anyway, so it's cool to sort of watch, the Warning do it and kind of go, you know what, that's really cool. In another world I probably had the same thing, or found like people earlier on or something.
I mean, there is something freeing about being an independent musician and not having a commitment to anyone else. So you can
Absolutely.
go work with a lot of other different artists. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
that's
pros
it.
and cons both ways.
Definitely. I mean, the pro is, like, as you said, working with so many people. I have met so many lovely people and just lovely musicians through doing what I'm doing, and I don't think I would have if I was tied to the same band.
Right.
You'd meet lovely people, but you wouldn't be able to play with them. And I think I've learnt a lot from having to adjust my playing style, my everything to fit with other people. And I think there's massive pros to that. However, it is always very temporary, and work is very limited. So
Yeah.
that's the con in that.
Yeah, no kidding. So I'm really curious about your guitar collection, but I have no idea where to begin. So you'd probably be better than me at like, how did you start collecting guitars?
Well, how is a good question to start off with, because I guess that sort of, in terms, if you used to ask me to go through a list, I would actually be here all night. So how is kind of like, I bought my first bass, the Ibanez, and then I bought an electric guitar. Didn't really get on with that electric guitar, so I bought a different one. And I think I actually have a photo on my phone that I'll find in a second of my initial collection and what my room looked like, which I'll get up because that'll be quite interesting. So started off with those, and then I thought, I was like, I want another guitar. I was like, like I can't remember what the guitar was at the time. And I was like, I feel like I need a different vibe, like a different sound, guitars vary in sound. So I was like, okay, I want a different guitar. And then it kind of got to a point I was like, okay, what about this guitar? And then once you start realising how varied guitars are and how different they all are, it is a hole. You're in deep. Because I went from having one or two to this, just on the basis of that theory of they're all different.
Yeah.
And then the bass, obviously I started then collecting basses. I do have more guitars because my guitars themselves are more collectible. Being a bassist, I'd rather have more practical basses, but with guitar, I'm not a guitarist, so I can get away with having my master built Strats and not feel the guilt of like I'm really not like a massive guitar player. I can kind of have it from that collecting standpoint of like, oh, I value it and it's there and I admire it. But playing it, I'm not a super shredder, so I won't be like destroying it, I'll take good care of them. I will find the photo though.
Yeah, sounds good.
It's super interesting to see like the starting point. Shouldn't be too hard to. It'll be in there. So there we go. Super exclusive, everyone. This was my wall.
All right.
This is
Wow.
this is that corner.
Oh, okay.
So this is the same room. So I can't remember
Nice.
what the first one was. Obviously it has my Ibanez in it and the 5-string Ibanez. I don't know what my first guitar actually was out of this, which is pretty bad. I don't know. I think it might have been the SG.
Oh, I didn't even see that yet. Can I see it again?
So I'll point out which is what. So it's like, hello. So you got an SG. That's the 4-string Ibanez. That's a Core MBC, the Matt Bellamy ones they did.
Oh,
5-string
nice.
Ibanez, Fender American Elite Strat, Fender Mexican bass, and an Ibanez. What I can't remember what they're called, but it's signature. Oh God.
The one that looks like a jaguar?
Yeah. I can't remember what the actual line of the guitars was called, but it's the guitarist from You Me at Six's signature, and I still have it actually. I can't, in this moment, I'm so bad. I'm gonna have to look up his name, which is really, really, really bad, isn't it?
No worries. This is a chill stream.
I really like that Chris Miller, because it's the CMM1. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Chris Miller. He's a really great guitarist, so they got great music. Everyone's saying Ibanez Woman. I was definitely started when I started out.
Yeah, that was my first bass too. I still have it. The action is like an inch tall, but I still have it.
Do you know what? My parents are watching and they just texted me Chris Miller.
Oh, that's awesome. They got your back.
Yeah, they're good.
If anyone tries texting me, I won't even notice. Oh.
I just couldn't. I haven't played it in a hot minute. It's a great guitar. I just I just haven't. So it's just out of sight, out of mind in terms of name. But yeah, I had a lot of Ibanez's, but I think that was just because they were really affordable. You know, at the time I was buying, so I kind of went with all of them. You know, the 5-string and the 4-string, which I no longer have, and the Chris Miller and everything. The core MBC I still have. I still have the SG actually, but I am looking to possibly sell it. Don't know. There's almost like how Pepper Parents.
It's hard. I have a couple SGs that they're like so nostalgic for me because they're what I used to play when I was a teenager in a rock band. So like, it's hard to like, and I've completely defaced them. Like,
what with stickers and stuff. Yeah, please do. Oh my god.
I drew a spider web on it because I was obsessed with Spider-Man at the time.
Love it. I still have.
The back is even worse.
Love it.
But, I mean, it's not a very good guitar. Like, it always goes out of tune, and it's kind of hard to play.
SGs are like that, you know. They are.
Yeah, that's what
it's an SG thing. 100%.
I thought it was just mine, and then I keep hearing that.
Yeah, it's an SG thing. What mine is, I have I won't be able to reach it from here, but I have a green.
You can get up if you want.
I'll get up and show you this one.
All right, cool.
I just can't hear anything.
I'll try to catch up on the chat.
Yeah. Pop an ear back in so I can at least hear, but this is a lovely SG I've got.
P90s?
P90 SG. In Inverness green. I can never say it. It's a custom one, but I'm trying to get rid
beautiful.
of it's stunning. I'm trying to get rid of my older one that was in the picture because it's just significantly sort of older, and considering the quality of this one, it's like it just doesn't get played because if I was going to pick an SG, I'd just use this one.
That is awesome. Love those, the inlays
and like the headstocks,
the binding. Nice. That's the thing about Gibson is like they're classy.
Oh yeah, like this is. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yes. I was like, it's something about this green is like. I don't think the camera is doing it proper justice. It's like it's this sort of just really perfect green sheen, and it's so glowy. I just love it.
Awesome.
I'm gonna pop it down now because it's
all right. Sounds
in
good.
The way. Oh no.
Hey Tom Cruise. Welcome. Salty Showers, welcome. Paul. All right. Timber. Robert. Esther, welcome.
Glowing green named the Hulk. Yes.
Is it?
No, that's a good idea though.
So do you have names for all your guitars?
Oh, no.
Okay. Because every time I have a guitar, my wife's like, you need to come up with a name for this.
I'm out of names that I possibly could give. I have 65 guitars. There's no way I'm
65?
remembering.
65? Whoa. Are they all in your room here?
No. So even behind this, I've got them like all around there. And obviously you can see there's ones behind me above there. I do have some in that wardrobe, but it's full of makeup, so I won't show that. And I do have a bunch next door in my actual bedroom. This used to be my bedroom, by the way, and I moved out so I could hang up more guitars. And
That's awesome.
I also have more downstairs because we ran out of room upstairs as well. So I don't know how much I can move this around, but
so
I
do you
can
use?
move it up. There we go. So they go.
Are they all
the
like
top.
individual single guitar hangers?
Yes, they are.
Nice. I got this like well, I kind of built my own guitar stand. I don't know.
Awesome.
I don't want to move my camera, but the hangers are kind of sketchy. Like, I don't want to put my nice guitars on there because I can see the weld and I'm a little worried about it. But
I know.
anyway.
I got all the Hercules ones that have like the bits that can't fall off and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Someone said, "How does the wall hold it?" Truthfully, I don't know. Because
That was my question.
I have no idea. And
You got strong frame. A strong frame for that.
This house could hold anything. This is apparently because it can hold a lot.
No kidding. That's awesome. So, do you have a favorite, like your go-to that you pick when you just want to chill and play something?
That's a good question. No. So it depends on the vibe of the chill. I have a lot of Strats, Fender Strats, and I really enjoy every single one of them. So they're my more sort of chilled guitars, I'd say. If I'm feeling a bit more rocky, probably my ESPs. I have a few custom ESPs.
Nice.
So they're quite gainy, I like to say. As for bass, anything goes. It's whatever I see first, to be honest, because like I've just got so many random ones just kind of chilling. I was playing the P-bass today, which is why it's on the chair. I've got a Spectre that's leaning against my amp, and you know the basses are all sort of in that top of tier.
That's awesome.
I just go with whatever I'm feeling, to be honest. It's like I can't pick a favourite one. I really can't. It'd be cruel.
Yeah, I get it.
It'd be cruel.
Depends on the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm curious because you have really great tone, and most of your videos are just spot on tone.
Thank you.
Especially Muse covers. Like, I would imagine it's difficult to get a good Chris tone. But would you say it's... Well, why don't you tell me, how do you start to crafting a tone for a cover?
Well, I listen to the song a lot. Like luckily with Muse songs, I know them a lot, so I can kind of envision that tone in my head. And like I said earlier, it's kind of like I've always had this musical ear of like picking something up and hearing it and like replicating it. Nice. And I think most of the time I actually use Logic effects. Because setting up pedals and stuff, it just makes things really complicated. It depends on what the pedals are. So if it's distortion, I don't mind, chucking on a distortion pedal. But I covered Tool on my Instagram the other day, and I just used a flanger that was on Logic because I really couldn't be bothered to faff about with a pedal.
Nice.
But as for sort of Muse tones and that, I literally just listen for what I think I'm hearing. If I'm hearing an octave pedal, so in Futurism, although I've got fuzz on there, or not fuzz, is it fuzz or distortion I put on it? I can't remember, but one of the two, but there is a cheeky octave pedal in there. There is,
Nice.
and it fills out that space. You can't necessarily hear it, but it's all about, like, I feel like what people miss with covers and stuff in terms of finding tone is finding not only the right effect, but whatever fills out that really dynamic space.
Like the harmonic overtones, kind of?
Yeah, exactly that, exactly. And for a song like Futurism, it's like it needed that extra oomph around the actual riff to kind of, because it's quite a high up riff. It's all on the G, so it's like it can sound quite tinny. But with that octave pedal, it kind of gave that bit of rounded tone to it that kind of sounded really nice and full.
Yeah, beefy.
Absolutely. Someone said if I got a PRS. I do have a PRS. I have a custom 24, and it is in there.
Sweet. What color is it?
It is... Oh, I can't remember what the actual... In fact, I've got pictures of all of these on my phone. I could just...
Yes, I want to see.
This is like the brain not working, to be honest. It's clearly I'm just having a moment. I'm not having an on day with showing off some guitar. So going back quickly to the, picking up what I sort of pick up. The Strat I pick up the most is a sparkly Strat. That is a Fender Masterbuilt. And it looks... Oh God, this isn't going to show it very well, is it?
Oh.
It looks like... There you go. It's very... the sparkles don't show up. It's built by John Cruz. The PRS, for anyone wondering, looks... Hold on. Looks like this. Oh, my brightness keeps going down.
Oh,
Wait for it. There we go. So it's got a nice blue purple thing, you know.
I love that.
I love it. Tom
That's
Cruise
a good
guitar.
fade. I haven't seen one that's purple to blue like that.
Yeah, it's really dynamic. The blue goes like really sharply around the edge, but it's just perfect.
That's awesome.
It was an impulse purchase, but it was lovely. It was a good choice.
I think all my guitars are impulse purchases.
Oh, don't. So many, man. So many.
That's awesome. All right. Okay. What about 21 Pilots? Because that's quite a divergence from all the other music. Like more hip hop, rap.
Yeah. So I've been into 21 Pilots for time, you know, like I've been into them since their self-titled album.
Nice.
And that album, by the way, is one of my favourite albums of all time. Like, it is just so beautifully written and
Guys,
played.
I saw your Pantaloon cover.
Yes, I love it. So I even, you know Tyler's solo stuff before that, and, you know, like things like Anathema and
Nice.
What's the other one? I haven't listened to it in time. Is it Drown or something? I can't remember. It's the lyrics of Fall Away, but slowed down.
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
Was that on Regional at Best?
possibly, it might have been. Rachel at Best, man. Oh my god. So I went through in fact, actually, I think I have a really cool thing that I might have in my wardrobe to show. One second.
All right. Come on, Lord Vorador. They're
I don't know where it
good.
is, but it's in there somewhere. I got it.
If I'm missing anything in the chat, just do all caps.
I got it.
All right.
Right, I can hear you again. Okay. So, I was especially obsessed with them while I was in school. And I had it's really dusty, I'm really sorry, but I had an art project where I made a chest of drawers, and it wrote lyrics all over it, mindless, spineless and pretend, skeleton cleat on the top. You open it up and you get like pictures of them and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like a proper working, and then in here I've got the lyrics to, I can't remember, I don't know, I search for purpose, and something might be worthless, all that, you know, like, yeah, you got migraine lyrics in there, and...
Awesome. You made that from scratch?
I made this from scratch, and
Wow.
it's just, I'm really proud of that, you know, that's
awesome.
one of the best things. I'm not an arty person, I know I'm a musician, but like, I mean as in drawing and stuff, no. That is the best thing I've ever done.
Well, I suppose it was like learning a bass line. You took your time, slowed it down.
I took my time gluing down every single individual bead.
That's awesome.
But I did, so I flew to New York to go see them.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's dedication.
In Madison Square Garden, it was the best thing ever. They are just, I've seen them a few times, but I saw them in the UK, but this was like, you know, it was the best. It was the best because they are just such a fantastic band, and they've always just meant so much to me in terms of their music. It's never like anything else. Like, you cannot name another band that is similar to them. They are their own thing, and still their own thing even today. Like, you still cannot find another band that even touches on just the diversity of their influences and everything. It's just so great. And especially when Blurryface came out, I was just mind blown at how much hip hop they managed to incorporate into something that sounded so dark and rocky, and it was just like it was a really crazy thing to experience, and it's just so great.
Yeah, that's I think they get written off a lot by people who are into rock music because Stressed Out is the only song they've ever heard. So all they hear is like the rap hip hop. They haven't heard like all the nuance and texture of Tyler's composition.
I mean, if you like listen with headphones on it, the same with a lot of music, but if you really listen to the depths of their recordings and what is going on in them, there is just so many layers, especially on Vessel. They've got so many sound effects and little things. Ode to Sleep is the song that really stands out.
I was just going to say, people need to start with Vessel.
Yes, absolutely. Because Ode to Sleep, it goes so swiftly from different genres, like mid-song. And that song makes me smile every time I listen to it. I need to cover it.
Yeah.
It's got a good bass line.
That's one of the songs that I made a cover of. I translated it onto guitar, but it's not up to my standards now. But
let's redo it together.
Yeah, let's do it.
I love it so much.
Do a rock version.
Yes.
Because, I talk to a lot of people that love rock music, and they're into that. But But when I talk about 21 Pilots, they're like, we don't care.
Oh, no.
I'm like, I need to get the word out. Rosie and I, in October, we went down to Chicago and saw them. We got super lucky. We were able to see them in the House of Blues in Chicago, which is only it's like 1,000 people tops, maybe less.
Yeah.
So it was just this tiny venue. And now, they're massive compared to what they used to be. But
absolutely. I mean, even seeing them at Madison Square Garden, I was like, in school, I was the only one that knew they existed for a period of time. And Stressed Out went viral on Musical.ly. And literally, I remember the exact day where I realised, I was like, I no longer am the only one that knows who they are. And it was, in that moment, I was like, no, but at the same time, then I saw them in Madison Square Garden, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, they have come so far as a band. This is just crazy. It was nice to have my thing of knowing them. Well, I did in the Vessel times and everything. But I'm glad Blowface worked out so well for them, because they truly deserve it as a band to be so well known as they are today. Truly, So definitely.
Tyler's a mad genius,
massively.
Lyrically and musically, his composition is so interesting.
He's a poet, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's literally, even their self-titled album, the lyrics on that are just, I can't even comprehend how you would even write something like that. I physically listen to something like Fall Away or Taxi Cab, and I'm like, what the heck is this? I'm like, it just makes you think. Their lyrics make you think, and then you kind of get to pick your own story with them and make them your song, and they're just so great. They're just so great, man.
Didn't he say that? He loves writing songs that are open to interpretation?
Yeah, exactly.
Not all cut and dry.
I think, I think he did a interview that I still remember to this day, because he said something like the song Kitchen Sink is about everything. The kitchen sink itself is whatever you want it to be. And I remember that interview and I was like, whoa. I was like, this guy's deep. I was like, and that song is just, that's what the lyrics are from, I just realised. You're searching for purpose, write something that might be worthless, but it might not, it might be, it might not. That's the thing. And that's how do you even... I'm frustrated that I don't have that talent.
I know, me too.
I can't write lyrics for anything like that, That's the expectation I hold myself to.
Me too. My lyrics are like Mad Libs. Do you watch The Office at all?
I don't, but I have seen the UK one, and I've seen a bits of the US one.
Okay, well then what I was about to say won't make sense. But I was just going to say, when Angela's doing Mad Libs and it's just so basic, that's what my lyrics are like.
Oh, okay.
And she's her adjectives were tall and nice for everything.
Well, as a thing that goes together as this is tall, this is nice, this is tall, this is nice.
Yeah.
It's something I would do, totally, absolutely, I get that.
Anyway, I think the first time I heard 21 Pilots, it was during Blurry Face. Rosie showed me Ride, I think.
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, I heard them on the radio, Stressed Out and stuff, but I didn't know it was them.
Yeah.
But then when you dive into their catalog, And then what they've done since with Trench and Scale to Nicety is still very fascinating because like everything surrounding it. What do you think? Do you think it was like a legit album, or do you think it's kind of tongue in cheek?
I don't know. It's so I didn't ever stop listening to them, but when Trench came out, I'd sort of started to delve into other bands and everything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I was there for Trench when it came out, but I wasn't as, like when Blurryface came out, I remember they were doing the cryptic messages and everything for it, and I remember the morning I woke up and Fairly Local had come out, but with Trench I was kind of like, Jumpsuit come out and everything, but I wasn't as like, I need to listen to this right now sort of thing. So,
yeah, I get you.
And then Scale to Nicety, I saw Shy Away and I've done a cover of that. I forgot about the rest of the songs, to be honest, they were releasing, and I have listened to it since, and I think it's lesser of an album for me in terms of I don't think it's got that same crypticness to them that I kind of really like about their other albums, but like you said, I feel like it might be a bit of tongue-in-cheek, like, you know, this is just us playing, we'll give you something else, you know, like, you wait. The
reason I ask is because they did this live stream concert that went along with the album, and like they actually carried over the whole story that starts with Blurryface and goes into Trench, and then like there's this whole lore, and it almost seemed like this album was kind of to represent what they would manufacture if they're being controlled by other people.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I've seen people talk about like being controlled by Dima and stuff. Yeah, totally.
Yes. So I think, fascinating.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like there's always something.
Yeah.
Some sort of hidden message, but it might be, it might not be. Maybe they're just having fun. But it is a funky album, and I like the happy vibes. But I think I've always just really enjoyed. You know, I'm not a sad person, but their other lyrics are just so deep. They really make you think, and I quite enjoy being made to I was gonna say to thunk.
Yeah, it's
like
not it's not what I would typically go to 21 Pilots to hear.
Yeah, like, exactly. Yeah, definitely. But it's, the Outside, you know, I covered The Outside recently because I watched them perform that on Jimmy Kimmel, and I was like, you know, I vibe with this. I was like, okay, I'll do this. I'll cover this, and then I did. And nice. I was like, okay, maybe I should give it another try. Maybe I should. I think I dismissed it too early in a way.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm excited to see what they do next.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. We've probably talked about 21 Pilots enough.
Never enough.
I know. I'm in that. I could talk about them all day too. I'm just trying to. Let's see here. Oh, so do you have like a favorite artist of all time?
I think it will always be Muse. I think it will always be all day, every day my favorite of ever. Because I just think it holds too much like on me. Like that band itself has just done so much for me in terms of, you know, bass, and you know, their song got me loads of followers and everything like that, and obviously that's not the sole reason, but it's kind of like that sort of attachment of this band has proved time and time again that it's just always going to be the one thing that grounds me. It's just really great. So
that's awesome.
I love them for that, and I think they are just always the number one for me, I think.
I just realized we haven't talked about Muse yet, but honestly, they are the one that I always, like, you know, they'll always be. Right now, I'm really into Bandmade, which I'd highly recommend.
I can see
they have really
this
cool
whole
music.
time people have been commenting, do you know Bandmade, do you know Bandmade, do you know Bandmade? Yes, I do, everyone. So you can all...
Yes,
I can tell you got a lot of Bandmade fans.
Very passionate. Yeah, I talk about Bandmade a lot. But even though I'm obsessed with Bandmade right now, Muse is always like my favorite band of all time type of thing.
Yes.
But how did you first get into Muse then?
Well, how did I? It rooted from. It's okay, guys. You don't have to apologise. People saying sorry. And it's just not fitted in with the conversation, so I didn't want to like interrupt and say I know who Bandmade is. But with Muse, my parents used to play me their music when I was young. We had Absolution CD in our old car. And I think Time Is Running Out is the first song I'd ever heard. And I didn't know it was like, I'd never clocked that it was Muse, and like I'd never gone like, I'm a huge Muse fan. I knew every song on Absolution. Like I said, the CD was in our car. But it wasn't until I put on, I think, MTV Rocks at the time, and Time Is Running Out to come on, I was like, I know every lyric to this song. Why the hell do I know every lyric to this song? And I was like, oh, I know this whole album. And then the Obsession became then. And now, here we are.
So it all goes down to you have really cool parents.
I do have really cool parents. They have a really great music taste.
That's awesome. My parents, I still don't think they really know who Muse is.
Oh, wow. My parents definitely know who Muse are. They watch my covers of them like every night. So.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, Time's Running Out. That's an iconic bass line.
Yes.
And it's so different than, especially for the time, I don't think anyone else was doing that kind of stuff on bass with the fuzz. And
yeah, Muse have always been ahead of their time. I don't think people give them credit enough. They've always, time and time again, like Absolution is 2003, right? That album should not have been an album produced in 2003, 100%, because it's synthy bass tones, and like, you know, it's technically, like, that was when, you know, tone, like, distortion and stuff was in, and, you know, playing clean tones, 5 strings and that. So where that came from, yeah, it's so ahead of its time, so incredible.
Innovative.
Yeah, massively.
I remember hearing, well, I talk about a lot of Japanese music. I remember hearing that Matt, he was like in Japan on tour, I think, and he walked into a shop and found a ZVEX pedal. And he was like, this is weird and different. I got to figure out a way to use this. And then it became the basis for Plug-in Baby, one of their most iconic songs.
Yeah, that's what I used on it as well. I've got it built into my guitar.
Yeah, and, I saw that.
Yeah, it's that pedal itself is just innovation in itself, you know, like it's just incredible how that even comes. It gives me similar vibes to Tyler Joseph, honestly. This guy has a brain of like thinking of things that no normal person can think of.
Wasn't that so cool seeing them together? Like I saw a picture of them together a few years ago.
Yeah, that's
just
right.
Like a selfie. But then to see Matt at 21 Pilots concert and dancing, dad mode.
He was like full on like.
It's just so funny. Like he's an epic, legendary rock star to me, but then he just went into dad mode.
Yeah, I know. Zilla's kids were there, so I don't blame him. But
yeah, it was hilarious. I gotta show you my custom project guitar.
Yeah.
Because this is I wasn't able to get a Manson guitar.
I saw a bit of sparkle.
Yeah. So I made this when I was, I think, 20 or 19.
Oh, nice.
I literally routed out, well, not with a router. I used a, by the way, I should have prefaced this. This is the most janky thing you'll ever see. But I cut holes in this cheap $100 guitar. It's a Xavier guitar.
Right.
And I put my Fuzz Factory and my K oscillator in there.
So that's like the actual Fuzz Factory pedal?
Yeah.
That's in the guitar?
I routed it through the back, and I have like a gooseneck cable that comes out the back. So, but it works.
That's the best thing I've ever seen. Oh my gosh. That's incredible.
I was very determined to have a Matt Bellamy style guitar.
Do you want to see one of my Matt?
Yes, I do. That's what really caught my eye when I first saw your videos is those the Manson guitars on the wall.
Oh yeah, I'll have to open my. I'll show you what's inside my wardrobe. You won't be able to see it. I don't care. I wear makeup. You know, I'm a girl. You know.
Yeah. No one's gonna judge you. Well, they might, but we'll just ignore them.
Ignore them.
Hey, Risky, I don't think I said hi to you yet. 2A Bug, Robert, Esther. All right.
Silly headphones, they're getting in the way. Can't hear anything. Right, this is my Red Santa MB.
Oh, That is the classic.
I don't know if I can show off. There you go. The hollow sparkle kind of gets in there a bit. Actually, let me get my torch. Maybe that'll help.
Torch.
There we go. You get the hollow sparkle.
Nice.
Get it in frame for the viewers. There we go. Hollow sparkle action on there. So yeah,
that is such a nostalgic looking guitar for me.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I used to watch the Harp Wembley concert every day from start to finish. And I think he played this on Supermassive Black Hole, didn't he?
That's right, yeah. But it's got the Chaos pad and it's got the Staniac. This isn't an MB, it's an MA. I have an MB, which is the new shaped ones, but I keep yanking my headphones out my face. But got all the half of it is.
Oh, nice.
Green stuff.
What's under those plates then? Does it have MIDI outputs and stuff, or?
The MIDI output is next to here, so it goes. Is that it? Yeah, that's the MIDI output, and then you can plug whammy pedal, fuzz, chaos pads, anything in it really.
That's so cool.
I love it.
Yeah, that is awesome. I was obsessed with that. With all of Matt's guitars.
Oh yeah.
Back in 2006 or whatever.
Yeah, these are crazy. Literally, this is the Red Santa one, so they did this in the Christmas of 2020. So I got it because I was like, come on, I had to get this.
It's such a cool look too, with no inlays.
Yeah, it's just that sort of sleek, and they're so shiny too. So well made, Mansons are just incredible. So, and it's got the kill switch too.
Nice.
It kills.
Oh, that's right, because that's just a Sustainiac on the top. So there's only one pickup.
Yeah, so the Sustainiac's controlled here, and that's the kill switch. And obviously this does the same thing.
I would imagine with each of these guitars, it takes a few weeks to figure out all the.
Yeah, initially it did, because I got my first Manson, I got this, but in black hollow sparkle, and I got that as I think 7th or 8th guitar, and at the time I was still very much learning, so it was when I got it, I was just I had this screen, and I was like, what do I do with this? I was like, there's nothing comes out of it. I wasn't that silly, but it was kind of you're just overwhelmed with just how much this guitar really can do.
Yeah.
But it was just, I had to get this. It's like the twin of the Black Hollow Sparkle one. It's just so good.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for pulling it out.
No, that's cool.
That's awesome.
I'll pop it away.
Uh-oh, we got spam. Let me see here. Sorry, I'm just dealing with some spam real quick.
Oh, no, that's right. I did see people talking about that.
All right.
What's the chat been saying? I'm reading it.
Yeah, we should probably... How are you on time, by the way? I just wanted to make sure I'm not keeping you too long.
No, okay. Honestly, I'm fine. I'm literally chilling. So I'm all good.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Blue wrench. I don't think we have a blue wrench in here right now.
A blue wrench?
A moderator.
Oh,
so usually I have Rosie, my wife, here for to keep an eye on the chat and tell me if I'm missing anything.
Got you.
But she couldn't make it today, so.
Okay, got you. Oh, we all reported him. Good on you guys. Well done.
Thank you.
Someone said, why have I got so many guitars? Because I like them.
That's the only answer you need. That's awesome.
It's just the only answer I really have. I'm a guitarist, but I just really enjoy guitars.
You're a bassist who plays guitar really well.
Thank you. It's just all fun. It's all fun and games.
It is. I'm curious about your workflow. When you start making a cover. Okay, we already talked about the filming process, but what do you use to edit your videos?
iMovie.
I haven't used that before.
It's like the thing that comes with Apple. So I do have Final Cut Pro, which is like the super fancy video editor. But for some reason, I don't know if anyone here can help me out with it. If you can, I will love you forever. Basically, when you put a video into it, it changes the pitch.
What?
For no reason. So that when I edit, I have my two angles. So in iMovie, I put the first angle in and I overlay the second angle and I just pick sections of what I want to do. In Final Cut, when you add the second video, it changes the pitch of the second video and makes it slightly slower.
And throws everything off.
Yeah, and I have no idea how to fix it. I have this fairly expensive program.
Sounds like some kind of code glitch or something. Like,
yeah, I mean, it happened. It used to happen on iMovie, and it just started not doing it. And I was like, oh, okay. But at Final Cut, it's literally, I just don't know why it does that. And I've looked up on the internet, and no one else seems to have had the same problem. So I don't know if
Yellow Clip said maybe it's something to do with frame rate. Like, are both videos the same frame rate?
They are. It should be. I film in 60 FPS, so it should be. But I'll double check that. But I just don't know.
There's so many settings, like shutter speed. I don't know if that would affect it because that's all baked into the video. But
yeah, I don't think it would be the shutter speed. I've tried so much to try and kind of fix it because I really wanted to use it because you can do some really great stuff with Final Cut. But
I didn't know
iMovie
had. So iMovie, you can do multiple video tracks though. That's not.
You could do two at once, which is why.
Oh, that's the limit.
Yeah, you can literally add one.
Okay.
So if you've seen my plug-in baby video, right? So that's got 4 different angles, so guitar and guitar, 2 a guitar, and bass. I edited the guitar first, so I put in the guitar and then the second angle. Then I save that, export it as 4K, make a new project, add the first angle of bass over it, then edit that, export that, and then edit the 4th camera angle over it in another project, edit that. And if there is any problem with any of the other projects, you have to go back and start from the beginning. So Plugin Baby took me a hot minute to edit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But it's all good. It's all good.
I mean, you made it work with what you had, though.
Yeah. Well,
it reminds me of when I first started, like back when YouTube first went up, I was trying to make, cover videos without having any. I was using Windows Movie Maker, which is just one track.
Back in the day.
Yeah. So I would literally cut like one, 5-second section of a video, stack it, try to line it up with the music.
Oh my God,
and then,
yeah.
Like there was no multiple tracks, but you got to work with what you have at the time.
Exactly. I was like, Final Cut's going to throw a fit, then I'll have to use iMovie. And if that means, the exporting of the project is still less hassle than what Final Cut is giving, because the issue is, the more you pay for a project, the more they disguise disguise function with fancy words and buttons. So iMovie, super simple. I know where everything is, but as soon as you go on Final Cut, it starts giving you words that only a video editor knows.
Rasterize.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm looking at this program and I'm like, I just want to know where I can access the frame rate stuff, because I did try it, obviously, but I gave up after half an hour of trying to figure it out, and it's, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, it's traumatic.
It's like learning bass. You gotta slow down, take your time, but you can only give your time to so much.
I can't. There's only so much time I have to hover my mouse over every button I'm about to press just to see what the function's called. Only for it to be called something I still don't know the name.
You have to Google every single word. Yeah, I don't know why they can't just use normal words like iMovie.
Yeah, exactly. iMovie just uses basic language that rookie editors will use. But oh my God, what a nightmare! Oh, that's just awful.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it helps people appreciate the amount of work and headache that actually goes into making these videos.
I hope so.
You have like over 200 videos now, don't you?
Oh, I don't even know, man. I upload and go.
Nice. That's the way to do it.
I just, I've only been doing YouTube since May or June of 2020. So, I don't know how many that day. I've slowed down recently because gigs have increased. And I think I just wanted to focus a bit more on quality rather than just churning out. But I'm still recording the same amount. But with the uploading less, it's kind of giving me less stress of like, kind of having to constantly post. I think that's the stressful part, is the satisfaction rather than actually what I'm doing. So, you're on my Patreon, you can see that I've got about 8 videos just like there ready to go, that no one else has seen yet. But it's just really interesting how different my workflow has become since sort of slowing down the upload slightly, but still posting on Patreon and that the same. I think it also gives people like you, something else to kind of look forward to and a bit more exclusivity on there.
Yeah, no kidding. And that's good too, to let YouTube breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to make sure everyone sees what you're posting.
Yeah, let the videos marinate a bit more, because I think sometimes I will post something and it'll flop, so I will post something else just to kind of ignore that it ever happened. But if I post something that does really well, Won't Stand Down, I let that sit for about a week actually, because I wanted to wait for the views to kind of rake up a bit before I kind of shoved it away. So that's cool. Yeah,
that's something I've been working on lately, is trying to let my videos breathe more, because if you're posting too much, then people don't have that much time.
Yeah, exactly. I've got all the time.
But anyway, I just realized we talked about Muse a little bit, and then we changed topic, but I'm really curious. And I know this is a really difficult question, so if you want to do a top 3, that's fine. But what's your favorite Muse album?
Absolution.
I can see how that would happen if it was your first one.
It's got all my favorite songs on it. I have to pick it.
Oh, okay. Well then, how about a top 3 favorite songs?
Oh, okay. Top 3. If I actually have a playlist for this, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Because I was I think I sort of prepared myself for this. Did I make a playlist for this? Do you know what? I didn't. I did one for Deftones, though. But Muse, Hysteria is always first.
Nice.
Then Fury.
Sweet.
Because that song is just crazy. Third is a bit of a tricky one. Third would probably be, I don't know, time is running out, I think. I want to say is that I'm leaning towards that. But there are a lot of other songs I thoroughly enjoy, but those are sort of they're all on Absolution as well, which is cheating technically.
It's such a good album though.
Mental.
And even the mix is so good. It has that raw rock sound feel to it, where some of their later stuff, the drums are more electronic and kind of lose the organic texture. But Absolution, I just love the tone of Dom's drums. And okay, the thing about Muse is they're only 3 people. They have such a massive sound.
Yeah.
And I would give a lot of that to Chris, because he gets the beefiest, biggest bass tones. Did that stand out to you? Is that what really grabbed you about Muse?
Oh yeah, it's something about that album that has this tone in it that pushes through on so many levels. You can feel it in every cell of your brain, of just all of them are what is going on? And if you listen to it again with headphones and stuff, it's just so full of dynamics. I can bring up Fury because the layers in the chorus are unreal. The bass line is incredible in that song. I love it, and I love playing it.
I think it was in that beginning montage that I put up.
It's so good. That's one of my favourite covers I've ever done. I really want to do it again, but I don't think I can top it. It's really good.
I just want to say thank you to Rod Miller here. Just did a super chat. Says, as a new bassist, does she have any suggestions on how to do palm muting? That's my greatest difficulty. Thanks.
Good question.
I would guess you're doing that more with a pick.
Yeah. If not, then there are other ways of muting. But I'm going to get a pick. Right. So I kind of approach... So a lot of people play like this, like when they've got these fingers hanging. I don't, because I got little fingers and I play with a pick quite hard, so I find that I'll chuck it. So I do hold it like with a fist kind of thing, and it means I can get some more attack. But I use this part of my hand a lot because it's quite spongy. It kind of acts as like that spongy texture. So if I'm attacking with a palm mute, I keep my wrist in the same place, but I just rest this quite a lot actually on the bass itself. I don't slightly do it because you'll get harmonics, because bass is a very harmonically driven instrument.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate the harmonic ability of a bass, because they will show through. So
that's what I struggle with like muting strings. If I try to mute with my fretting hands, I like always land on a harmonic spot.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely something that's quite hard to overcome. You got to like really be brutal with your muting. You can't do it too lightly. So I kind of find like you just release the pressure ever so slightly when you're playing. But for the palm muting hand, you kind of want to, like, instead of, an actual strumming motion, you kind of almost want to tilt the wrist kind of, but being able to keep this. You'll find that this actually kind of gets a bit scratched up because it's kind of scratching literally against the strings. I was going to say, if I have a bass nearby, I could probably show it.
Especially on a bass, because they get really...
Yeah,
like,
metally
if they're
strings.
not flat wound, they're really gritty.
Oh yeah, definitely. And thicker strings are a nightmare too. So, I'd advise sort of using this chunky part of your hand as much as possible. I think that's the best way to go about it.
Yeah, same. Like for guitar, because I always play with a pick pretty much, so I'm always palm muting on bass just to get like, thumpy tone.
Absolutely.
Especially on my violin bass, like there's nothing like that thumpy McCartney tone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he did it all the time.
Yeah.
So definitely a good information. And what the hell did I just try and say? Influation? Influence, I think I just tried to say, but it came out very wrong.
Inspiration and influence put together.
That's it. I was like,
that's
what
live streaming. Yeah, if there was a montage of all the stupid crap I said on stream, it would be.
I reckon I've topped it with this one stream alone.
All right. I'm trying to think. What were we just talking about before?
Muse. Again.
Right.
Someone said, have I seen Muse at Wembley? I've not seen them at Wembley, but I've seen them at London Stadium and the O2.
So how far are you from those places?
About a 45-minute drive, I'd say. Probably an hour.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
Yeah, not too far. It's just London, so I'm sort of just outside of London. I can get a train there, technically, if I wanted to as well, which is even shorter. But yeah, not too bad.
That's awesome. Ever since, I'm going to talk about how I discovered Muse, just so you understand why I'm so obsessed with the Wembley concert. But I think it was the same way, you got connected with The Warning. YouTube recommendations, they just popped up in my feed, and I started watching, I want to say it was Supermassive Black Hole, but awesome. I was like, this is a sound I've never heard before. It's 3 instruments. There's no rhythm guitar. It's all like the bass is the rhythm guitar and the bass. And then Matt doing whatever the heck he feels like. So experimental, with the whammy pedal and the chaos pad, just all the different stuff he's doing. It's like, this is something I've never heard before.
Revolution.
And I got obsessed watching. Rosie, my wife, can attest to the fact that I've forced her to watch that concert with me, like every time she was over at my house when we were dating, and they hated watching it. Like my friends were like, "Yeah, we've seen it."
Hated it? How can you ever hate it? It's the best thing ever.
They heard Matt's like falsetto vocals, and they're like, "Huh." But I love
this
that.
Is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. You know, I love watching. I don't know if you've ever fallen down that rabbit hole on YouTube of like watching random edits and stuff. But I watched someone go through every note Matt Bellamy has ever hit.
Yes, I've seen that video.
And I was literally watching it, and it was so funny because I was just like, why am I watching this right now? Like, I'm not, you know, I know he's great, but like, I don't need to know this much. But I watched it until the end, and my guy went through the whole 8 octaves, you know, like.
It's fascinating. Like, that's an old video too, I think, because I'm pretty sure, like, I saw that right after I discovered Muse.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's still got it too, even in Won't Stand Down. His falsetto is just, the tone is still perfect.
I love how he falsettoed on the lyrics "Die Alone," you know.
Yes.
he went savage mode and falsettoed on them at the same time, so he's like...
There's nothing like it.
It's just fantastic.
All right. Well, let's see. So, I gotta ask you this because you're on the stream. Do you ever listen to Japanese music?
No. I have listened to... all I've ever listened to is Paper Metal. I don't know if there's anything else. I don't know.
That was my exact answer, like 8 months ago, probably.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I've heard of Baby Metal, I guess, but...
Yeah.
And, like, so the reason I'm doing what I do now is because I was a kid drummer, so I have been trying to figure out what I'm doing on YouTube for a long time. Like, I've had a lot of different channels. Anyway, I was like, it would be fun to watch some kid drummers and just see what they're up to these days because I can kind of relate to them. Yeah. So I did that video. I did a video watching kid drummers, and then I don't know if you've heard of Yoyoka Soma, but her fans kind of came out of the woodwork and were like, you need to watch more of her stuff.
Right, okay.
And since then, it's just kind of been, I've been falling deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole of Japanese music.
Right,
and so,
okay. Am I about to do the same thing?
Yes, I hope so, because Bandmade, they have such an interesting composition style, and their bassist MISA is probably my favorite bassist right now.
Oh, I mean, I think I've actually
no offense,
seen...
but
rude. I think I've actually... Have I seen any videos of her playing? I think I might have done, you know.
If you...
Yes, I have. I recognise their bassist.
Oh,
I don't know what from. I don't know what from, but I've seen her.
Okay, she's really cool. Like, well, everyone in the band, they all do really interesting stuff and work well together, but she does this really cool technique where she'll be playing with a pick a lot, but she tucks the pick up in like this, and then she slaps between her thumb and these fingers. I have no idea how she does it, but
yeah, because I slap with my first finger, so that might be a bit. Well, maybe I'd be able to like tuck. I'd be able to tuck like that. Oh, okay.
I would love to see, like, if you could figure that out, and then. But no pressure. I get it. I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
I'll have your whole fan base and their fan base just going in on me, just like, you right.
They're pretty nice. Like, if they put up with watching my videos, they're not going to come after you, you know, because I've made some very, you know, I made a bass cover. Even though I'm not a bassist, just because she's got such an interesting composition style, and my tone was terrible. It was all with a pick, but yeah, it's kind of embarrassing now that I've gotten more into trying to figure out bass tone.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. That's another thing that I haven't put enough time into is really figuring out bass tone, because I've always been a guitarist. But yeah, which is why I'm glad I was able to pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah, bass tone's hard, but I think it's one of those things you just like, you have to find what you really like, and then find, like, if you watch any of my older videos, you'll notice like they're a lot quieter and everything, because I still couldn't quite figure out the perfect way to record bass. But now it's like you do so many covers, like I go on Logic and I know exactly what amp to put in and what volumes to put everything, and I literally move it to the same thing every time, because that's just how many times I've done it. And you just start to then find your own tone. And it's also about finding the bass as well. Like, every bass is so different. And ever since finding my statuses and spectres, it's like I've really been able to discover what I actually really enjoy out of a bass tone. And now I just love it. And I love the sounds of the basses I own.
That's awesome. Do you play into an amp and mic it? Or do you do direct? Okay.
I go direct. I have a really huge 4x10 cab down here next to me, and it's very loud. And when I do play, even on like the slightest volume, it still shakes my floor. So
all the guitars come falling off the wall.
That fear has crossed my mind a couple of times. But yeah, I definitely have mic'd up. I did mic up for Hysteria. And I am planning on redoing my Hysteria cover soon, because I have since discovered an even better tone. And I also want to record it on guitar too, because I know how to play on guitar, so it'd be quite cool as like a dual thing. But that I will be doing direct input, because I remember that the day, like I said, it was the hottest day of the year on my Hysteria cover. My bass amp was loud, my windows were open, it was hot as anything. And I couldn't get it because it was just so hot. And having a really loud amp as well was just making it so much worse. So, because I had to figure out the time.
You're like, I hope no one comes knocking on my door.
I was like crying by the end of the day. I had my door open. I was just like, I just wanted to end. So I'm glad the video did so well, because it was worth it.
Yeah,
if it didn't do well,
it's like on its way to 1 million views. It's over 900,000.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if it hits 1 million, that's crazy. Because there's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. A lot of people. So I've been like meaning to look at the chat, and I feel bad I've not.
Oh yeah, I know.
I live in Bishop Stortford in Hertfordshire. It's specific, but it's not so specific. You'll find out where I live. You're the guy that asked me if my name was real, I think, and music. Was it them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my name is... I get asked a lot if I have a stage name. It's not. It's actually my real name, which I love.
What am I supposed to show her? I think I missed something. But
yeah, it is him.
I can't screen share, like, where she'd be able to hear it. That's why I can't show her anything right now, because I haven't figured out that. So, sorry, guys.
Still doing better than me.
Yeah.
I can't even do this.
Just... Yeah, well, if I can do it, you'll be able to figure it out pretty easy if you ever want to.
Not with my luck. It'll start showing things at different frame rates, knowing my luck or something. You'll be in slow motion and I'll be talking like a chipmunk.
Dude, I did that. Okay, so I was just talking about Yayoka, who basically got this channel started. A year after I discovered her, she actually came. She was in the U.S. and she came to my house, and
oh no way!
Yeah, it was crazy. It's still surreal that happened. But we recorded a cover of "Good Times, Bad Times" by Led Zeppelin together,
right.
And the main wide shot camera I had, for some reason, it was on a low shutter speed, and so the whole thing is like. That shot is super choppy, and then the other shot from behind the drums is blurry because it was like focused on a chair in the middle of the room.
Oh no!
And I was like, because I was trying to run the cameras while also being really nervous to play with, and trying to do my parts well. Anyway,
crazy.
No one else has commented on it, and Rosie said that no one will notice, but I think some people might notice. Anyway.
They might.
Anyway, I just had to share that because I'm screwing stuff up all the time.
We've all done it.
Awesome. Rod just subscribed to your channel.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Rod.
Yes, everyone go subscribe. Daisy's, all her links that I know of are in the description of this video, so go support her.
Guys. I know. Forgive you.
Yeah. So what do you have? Do you have anything in the works planned?
Yeah, I'm going on tour in April with Laura Evans, who is a UK artist. That's going to be cool. It's just going around a couple of places in the UK. So if any other Brits are on here, you should check that out. And is there anything else?
Or if you're really dedicated, you can be like Daisy and fly across and go.
Yeah,
like you went to go see 21 Pilots.
Well, I am actually flying to New York again to go see The Warning in May.
Oh,
so,
yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
So there's two dedications.
That's awesome.
So if anyone's going to the New York City show, I will be there if you want to see me, because I'm already meeting a bunch of other people, which is really great.
Awesome.
If anyone else is going, I'll see you there. Once more to ZP, yes, thank you, Bob. I can never remember what I'm doing in the moment of being asked. So yeah, I've just had a live EP come out with a band I session for, which is Once Monsters. So that's on Spotify and everything, which is really great. They're very Muse inspired, which is why I really enjoy playing with them so much. So
I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, they sound great and they're super talented. So as Bob said, it's very good. It is very good.
Awesome.
I don't think there's much else. I've also been playing bass for an upcoming artist, Roxy Searle. She is one of the most lovely people ever. So,
cool.
And she's so talented too. Her voice is incredible. So
I'll try to find links to this stuff, or I'll get the links from you and put them in the pinned comment after we're done.
Great idea. Yeah, I completely forgot to even mention it again. Like, I'm so bad at just remembering. What?
No, that's the way it is with musicians. Like, we don't want to do the business technical stuff, but we have to these days.
Yeah, I just want to chat.
But anyway, cool. Well, thank you so much for making time to be on the stream.
No, it's cool. It's fun.
Been a really fun chat. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up?
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't know the answers. Let's have a think. Is there anything else that I can...
Did we miss any comments?
Yeah.
If anyone has any questions, send them in all caps so I can find them easy.
Yes, send questions. I want answers.
Or else we'll just start talking about 21 Pilots again.
Yeah, ask questions or else. Join Patreon. Yeah, Joe, I do... I do some lessons. I do some lessons on my Patreon, like one-to-ones on Zoom and everything, or FaceTime. So if anyone, I don't want to sort of sign up too many people because
time.
I think it's good to sort of concentrate on other things. They're quite sort of not time-consuming, but they're half an hour odd lessons. So if anyone's interested, I have a couple slots of those.
Cool. I want to sign up.
Does Daisy use flat rounds on any bases?
Yeah, now they're all yelling.
Stop yelling at me.
So is that a choice, or do you just haven't tried it yet?
I have tried it. It's just a choice.
Loses the snappy tone.
I really enjoy, like you say, a snappy, bright punch in the face. Even on my fretless bass, I have round wounds on them. I don't even have flat wound strings on those. So
wow,
just it's something about the tone. It just sounds super like metally on a fretless. It just sounds great. So definitely don't use flat wounds at the moment. I might have a bass. I did have flat wounds on my 335 guitar, so I did use guitar strings that were flat wounds, which is quite nice for a bit. But other than that, no.
Nice. Cool.
Does Daisy know Nandy Bushell? Yes, I've heard of. I think she's the little kid that does music. Yes, I think. I feel like I'm really bad at reading all of a sudden.
No, that's just the way it is when you're on a live stream.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I've missed a puzzle piece. Who dis? It's me.
Oh, Ryan Mears here. This is Daisy Pepper, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Ryan. Okay, so Ryan is another. He does reaction videos on YouTube, and
Awesome.
we actually do a Japanese music podcast that we just started last week. Him, Dikodek, who was here earlier, and Champ of Medium.
Okay.
So, yeah. Good to see you, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Has Daisy ever crowd surfed?
That's
no.
a good question.
So I am 5'2". Okay, I'm very small, everyone. So crowd surfing, I feel like I would just get lobbed across the room, and I feel like it's a recipe for disaster. One day, I'd love to. If I was wearing like bigger boots, so I can actually, stand up and be seen and not get trampled on. But yeah, one day maybe. Not as a musician though, because I can't imagine taking my bass into a sweaty crowd.
You'd have to ditch the bass.
Yeah, definitely.
Crowd surfing terrifies me because, like, you never know where you're gonna get punched.
Oh yeah, exactly.
How you're gonna?
I can't risk it. I can't risk it.
I always think of Jack Black in the beginning of School of Rock. When
Yeah.
he does the stage dive and just splats on the floor. That's what would happen to me.
Exactly. Yeah. Ant said it right. Young ladies don't crowd surf. You're not wrong. I don't. I am a young lady, and I certainly do not crowd surf. Person gave me the worst headache I ever had. Oof.
Oh, right. That
I was
sounds.
terrified of you too.
I can't blame him.
I just get swallowed up.
Yeah, I have the opposite problem of you. I'm too big. Like it just wouldn't be good. Sweet. That was a good question, though. I've never thought about crowd surfing on the stream before.
That should be a staple question you ask every other person you get on now. Have you ever crowd surfed?
That will be the question. The recurring question.
I want to ask everyone else a question.
Yes, go for it.
Name a song you listened to today? I want everyone to list a song they listened to today, and it doesn't matter what one. It doesn't matter if it was the worst one, the best one. I'm curious.
I'll start since we're waiting for them to come in. Well, I was listening to your covers a lot this morning, and the one that was like I was really jamming to was "Show Me How to Live" by Audio Slave.
Oh yeah.
That riff. Oh my gosh. That is. It's got such a fun, bouncy rhythm to it, but it's also so BA.
It's so good, isn't it? Such a classic.
All right.
People are giving it. Oh my god, I sent
They're
your chat into a frenzy.
Smile by Bandmate. Catharsis by Bandmate.
Survived by Daisy. Oh my god, people are saying me.
Aw, that's awesome.
Right, I will play Bandmate, everyone, okay? I will. I'll do it. I just,
She's going to block me because I'm pestering her about it. Just kidding.
Pisces by Ginger, that's a great song.
Oh, yes.
I've got a really itchy nose. If you've seen me itching my nose on this stream, by the way, I do this a lot. I just have a really itchy nose, but I've realised it might look a bit sus at times, so I apologise. I'm not.
I'm sure no one will blame you.
No, I've just realised how many times I've done it. Wow, a lot of these songs I don't know. So what else is people been saying? Okay.
A lot of these are Japanese music.
I was gonna say.
Like Hanabie, we like sweets. I thought it was we love sweets. I don't know. Also, hello, Simno. Welcome, Glenner. Yep.
Do you do any tap playing on bass? No. I just don't enjoy. Again, like I think I said at the start, with bass, I'm just more into the rhythm part instead of like I feel like it's more melodic. I feel like it'd be really hard to, Primus and stuff. I can't remember what the song is where he's doing. I feel like that's John the Fisherman. I think. That is very rhythmic, but at the same time, it's like I'm not into that kind of rhythm. I'm into the more lower end rhythm.
Yeah. Well, that's important. Like that's part of being in a band, being a team player, is
Absolutely.
like knowing where you fit into the mix and lending to the song instead of trying to show off and be in the spotlight. So like,
Yeah, absolutely.
gotta respect musicians that know what they're doing. You know?
And I've brought out all the Primus haters now, I'm sorry. Pisces does have it, yes. I can do it in like little, like I could do like little bits of it, but anything complicated now.
Yeah, well, Ginger, oh my gosh. Every single person in that band is a virtuoso.
Oh, yeah.
They're just insane. There's the bands I watch that I can't even wrap my head around, but I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
I know, exactly. Someone said, do you play your bass barefoot? No.
Okay.
I never am ever barefoot. Some of my older Patreon members, you know, there's this thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Bob has said it barefoot, lol.
the reason they ask is because MISA from Bandmate plays barefoot.
Oh no!
On stage.
Yeah, it's a big no. It's a big no from me. Right? It's a big. I'm a sock wearer. There you go. Yeah, even my.
I'm wearing shoes and I'm in my office, so I get it.
I'm just tired because there's like an inside joke on my Patreon about like bare feet and stuff. That sounds really crazy, by the way. It's just I've been offered large amounts of money for pictures of my feet, and I've said a big fat no every time because I'm like it's just too far.
So that explains the comments in your Discord before this started. Is they were like,
yeah,
something about that.
Yeah, exactly. The guy at Easy Music Man, he said it. Yeah, I've had a. It's just really funny because I said it once and I was like, guys, I've been offered $3,000, and they were like, what? And for what?
$3,000? Wow.
I know. So I laugh every time someone brings up, do you play barefoot? I'm like, no, I don't play barefoot. Oh,
wow.
I can't
That's
end on that note. I can't end on that note. It's really not.
So, wow, Alan, you wear sandals when you play live? Alan.
The comments.
I'm sorry.
I'm dying. Yeah, we were picking you axes you could buy with the money. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I feel bad now.
Oh no, it's
subjected you to
just really
this.
funny. It's just I'm even getting messages in. Oh my torch is still on from work. I just blinded myself.
Thing. You call it a torch.
Yeah, you say flashlight, don't you?
Is that a common thing?
Yeah, we say torch. Like that's our thing. Like it's the torch. You know, someone go grab the torch.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Also, have you ever heard of this drink before?
Okay, this is what we were talking about. This is what we were talking about before the stream started. Is she was like, she was talking about how she drank what's it called again?
Lucasade.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck is that? I've never heard of it. That is fascinating.
If anyone knows the American equivalent of it's not Gatorade because we have Gatorade, so
is it
I don't actually know. No, we have Powerade. We have Powerade as well.
Well, maybe the U.S. is just missing out on.
Yeah, you guys are missing out. This is great.
So you prefer it over Gatorade?
I think it's just cheaper.
So is it like electrolyte drink then? Like a sports drink?
I think it's a hydration drink. It's a sports thing. I think it's more hydration. Yeah, it's called Lucasade Sport. They've also got Lucasade Energy, which is a bit more sugary.
Okay.
It also sounds like a car oil company.
Yeah, it does. Lucas Oil.
Lucas Oil.
That's fascinating.
Sorry, I can't get over that foot thing. That's hilarious because it doesn't. Even I don't know. You'll see my Discord, but even the messages in that just went absolutely mental just then.
That's hilarious.
It's like it's a proper joke because it was like a full-on conversation of like, what do I do? Like, golly.
Well, you brought it up again, so I can't blame me this time.
True, yeah, exactly. I'll end it on a different note. I'll show off one more guitar.
All right.
Someone said, wait, hold on, I'll answer this question first. Does Daisy work out the wanting to have a personal trainer? I do not have a personal trainer. One cannot afford a personal trainer. However, I do go on walks regularly.
Nice.
I'm muscly though. I've got a muscle. Right, this is my prized possession.
Ooh, is that ES335 or?
It is a DG 335. DG for Dave Grohl.
Oh, that's awesome.
I got a Dave Grohl 335, the Trini Lopez headstock and the diamond cuts. Beautiful bit of wood, and it's huge on me. If this puts in perspective how big I am, or how big? I'm tiny. What am I talking about? It's the size of me. Yeah, I love it. It's sparkly and sort of sheen. You can see it. It's the same sort of sheeny as my other Gibson, but
yeah, the green one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's that sort of sheeny. Oh my god, I'm not going to hang this up again now. Diamond cuts.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I love those inlays too.
Yeah.
Are those all just like Dave Grohl's signature?
Yeah, this
like
is one of 400.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's special.
Well, not the number one. It's 336. But if I had number one, I'd be.
Hey, you just made it.
Yeah.
It's pretty close. Yeah.
I know. Let me hang that up carefully. There we go.
Ryan Muir, I only have 25 guitars.
Only 25. I had 25 at 1.2, man. I did. And then it turned into 65 very quickly.
That's amazing. I don't even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I only have 6 guitars. That's crazy. But I have a lot of basses too.
It does honestly, like everyone's different. Like I make do with my 65 now. I could so easily get more. I have so many guitars I really just want to get. But some people can just have one and just be totally happy with it, and it's just so personal.
What if you break a string when you're playing live?
Yeah, I've got plenty more to pick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, someone said you guys are rookies. Herman Leo's over 200. Exactly. What are you guys coming at me for? I was like, I'm a drop in the ocean.
Oh, Herman Lee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that must take a lot of space.
Oh, yeah. Well, if mine take a lot of space, I don't even want to know what his is like. Have I played all my...
Are they all on display or like they in cases?
I think only a couple, like 4 maximum, are in cases. I think just ones that I don't really play as much, but most of them are out on display because I just enjoy staring.
That's awesome.
I'm chasing.
I get it.
Yeah, you tell him. I'm telling him. Yeah, I constantly get guitars. I'm like, why do you need all that many? I don't.
New mystery. Have you played all your guitars in one day?
I haven't. But
Sounds
I probably
like an
should.
Interesting video idea.
It does, doesn't it? I'd have to have an assistant hand me guitars and someone take them away and kind of make a carousel.
Can you get through all of them in one song?
Well, I mean, if I've got 65, I'd need at least... Because, like, I can't play them for long because the video will be an hour. So...
Yeah.
Because if I played all of them for, like, a minute, the video would be an hour. If I played them for 30 seconds, the video would be half an hour. So I literally would have to play them for, like, 10 seconds each just for the... Because there's no point in me doing it if no one's going to watch it to the end, so...
Right.
Because otherwise you won't see all the lovely guitars.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. That's why people are like, do a guitar collection. And I'm like, you have no idea how much effort that is going to be.
Just switching the cables out between every single time.
Oh, my God. The thought of it gives me a headache.
Let's see. You'd need to have 2 amps going and an assistant who can plug in the next guitar.
Oh, my God.
Anyway.
Headache. Absolute headache. What else are people saying? So yeah, if anyone else is going to the Warning in New York, I'll be there too. So if you want to see me, I'll be there. I'm also going to Spectre headquarters while I'm there too, because I'm now an artist, a Spectre artist. So that'll be quite fun.
Awesome. Is that in New York?
It is, yes, which is very handy.
That's awesome.
Because I thought I was kill two birds with one
Oh,
stone.
George
Oh,
said,
George.
I will be there.
Yes, George, I will see you there. Come and say hi,
Awesome.
please. How awesome and underrated is Chris Novoselic? Massively! Massively. That's the Nirvana bassist.
Oh,
He's
yes.
awesome. He's awesome. Thank you, Bob.
You ever
Yeah.
watch like those old Nirvana videos where they're just goofing off?
Oh, I just love it. They're just great, aren't they? They're just really great.
It's so hilarious.
What a fantastic band.
But another example of like how a band really starts with the relationships first and
Yeah.
just having fun together.
Exactly, like they weren't necessarily always in it for the music. They were just enjoying life, you know?
Yeah.
And that's something everyone should aspire to have when playing in a band, is just enjoying it while you're there.
Kurt like didn't even want to be famous. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, exactly.
He was upset when they blew up.
Yeah, I know. That's why he resented Smells Like Teen Spirit, didn't he?
Yeah.
My parents are texting me things to say, so I'm going to say it. I'm going to have to say them, otherwise I'm going to go downstairs and they're going to be like, you didn't mention this.
You got to.
So I'm mentioning I'm going to see Foo Fighters on the 30th of June in London Stadium if anyone else is going. Again, hi. And the next day I'm seeing Kings of Leon at the O2. Any other Brits are going? Hi.
Wow.
If not, book tickets because I will see you.
Eventful week.
Dude, as soon as it gets to the week after next week, my calendar is the worst, but also the best. Don't get me wrong. But like, to look at it actually makes me feel sick. My weeks are just blocks after blocks after blocks of just stuff. Like I'm traveling so much. Like with the UK thing, I'm touring for 3 weeks, and then straight after I finish the tour, I'm going to New York for the Warning show, and I'm there for a week as well.
Well, I'm
This is
glad we
4
got
weeks.
you on the live stream before that happened.
It'd be a very like make-do live stream, probably on my laptop, like sitting in the back of a van, like hi.
That would actually be kind of cool. Have road stories.
We should do that, you know. I'm down to do that.
Hey, if you're up for it.
Always.
It would be fascinating to hear like behind the scenes stories about
Absolutely.
on the road.
I'm down.
There was one more question I had.
Go for it.
What the heck? I can't remember right now. But if there's more in the chat that you want to answer, well, I try to remember.
Let me have a look. What's people been saying? So happy to hear about live music events. Me too. I'm really playing. I've been playing live more than ever. Because just before lockdown and COVID and everything, I was working in a music shop. And I wasn't doing what I'm doing. Then lockdown happened, started social media, and all of a sudden I'm a full-blown session musician and I'm gigging. My life took a literal flip and was like, boom, you know, here you go. So I'm really happy to be gigging again.
Silver
I'm
lining.
guessing. Yeah, exactly. I mean, as horrible as COVID was, I think a lot of people really found themselves in it and used lockdown to really like work on themselves and get themselves out there. You know, social media was being used all the time, and I was like, I'm gonna make my moment happen.
Yeah.
I've got all this time. I've been handed this break essentially of, you know, furlough of being off of work, and I was like, I'll use it. You know.
That's cool. That's an awesome way to look at it, because it's been such a difficult and devastating time for so many people. But
Absolutely.
like when there are silver linings like that, like at the start of COVID for me, I was working at the post office, delivering mail, and now I'm able to do this, and I do wedding videography as like my real job.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have been able to make time for that either if I was still at the post office. So everything happening kind of
yeah, exactly.
fell into
I
place.
think you've got to look at it positively. I mean, we've been in it so long now that, like, I don't think people can look at it as this negative thing anymore, because you just be really sad, because it was like, it was just so rubbish. Like it was scary at the time, because obviously we're just being shoved indoors. And some people didn't do anything, and if they couldn't or they just didn't want to, that's fine. But I think a lot of people were just finally given this, like, it's like it was just the longest weekend ever of like not working, or if you were working, you were sitting at home in the comfort of your house, and then you had all this free time around it, you know. So like people are saying, you know, it's old Mr. Beast, why he started his reaction channel. I mean, that's awesome.
Wow.
Helped some, changed my life for the better. Exactly, like me too. Like I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now if it wasn't for it. I really wouldn't. I don't think I would have got as far as quickly if it wasn't for COVID. I'm 20 years old, you know, like I'd still be working a full-time job. So it's
I didn't realize that I was so much older than you.
Do I look old?
No, I just still feel young.
No, I get you. I still feel like 12, honestly. Like I'm in a different planet sometimes, but I am only 20. I'm turning 21 soon, though.
Nice. Congrats.
Thanks.
Sweet. Well, that's nice. Like making the best of it. That, I mean, with anything in life, any kind of unexpected stuff you run into, just having that attitude where you want to make the best of it is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the key to getting through.
I knew what I wanted to do. It's like, especially now, there's so many musicians out there and networking. I didn't go to uni. I didn't see really a point because I was kind of at a point with my playing that I think I just needed to teach myself stuff and kind of go on my own journey. And I'm so glad I didn't, because one, I'd be there during lockdowns, but also I wouldn't have had time to do any of this. So everything happened so like perfectly for me, and it was just the best time, really. It was weird because it was like the worst and best time,
Right.
but you got to look at it positively.
That's
like I said,
awesome.
Otherwise you'll just be sad.
Yeah, and we're really fortunate to be growing up in an age where we have YouTube and we could turn our musical passion into something, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's such an awesome tool that the generations before us didn't have.
Yeah, the social media stuff is mental. Like the fact that I've been able to even just share and develop in the sort of public eye and have that support has just been life-changing, you know?
Yeah.
Playing before was like, I'm just playing for myself, but now I'm not just playing for myself, I'm playing for other people. And getting that sort of validation from people just feels really great. So, I mean, it was like a massive change because I went from just playing in my room to all of a sudden I'm actually playing for the world. And all of a sudden everyone's eyes are on you and you've actually got to force yourself to get better. Like my playing was okay at the start of when I started, but it really was lacking in so many places. But now it's like I'm churning out covers like nothing else just because I pick up songs so quickly, and that's just from practice. So people have been able to have time to even learn the instruments, you know. I've been teaching some of my Patreon members, I've taught them during the lockdowns, and now they're playing, and it's really great to kind of see that progression with them as well.
Yeah.
That's
so
really
cool.
That's really great to see.
That's the thing too, is us being on YouTube and talking about, well, doing streams like this where we talk about the behind the scenes stuff. I've seen so many times where it's inspired people that have been wanting to start and, you know, push them past the block and got them to start playing. So
absolutely, it's exactly that, because people always say, like, especially as I worked in a music shop, the number one thing of why people didn't learn is I don't have time. But this was like, you couldn't use that excuse for this, because of course you did. You sat at home now.
Yeah.
You got all the time in the world.
Good point. That's awesome. Well, I still can't remember the question I was going to ask you.
Yeah,
but maybe I'll remember it and I'll ask you next time we talk. But
it's all good. I forget all the time as well. Wow,
thank you so much for making time for this.
That's okay. It's been fun.
It's been over 2 hours. Well, my last stream was 5 hours long, so
wow.
This is nothing.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so cool how many people have been watching as well. I'm glad. Thank you if you've been here even for 5 minutes or the whole time. Thank you. I appreciate you sitting and listening to me talk for a really long time.
It's been interesting. Like, I've learned a lot. I'm sure other people have, and yeah, it's been fun to chat.
Oh, thank you guys.
Old Mr. B, So, old Mr. B is another awesome reactor.
He's reacted to 2 of my videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's got like thousands of videos, so I can't keep up with all of them. But he's the sweetest. Thank you for being here, old Mr. B. All right.
Wow.
Well. Oh, that's another thing I was going to say. Is it's so cool that I'm able to talk to people that are over in the UK. You and old Mr. B.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so awesome.
Yeah,
And
I mean, isn't that weird? Like, we are on 2 opposite sides of the world right now.
Yeah.
And we're just chatting, chilling. This is actually our first time ever talking to each other properly. I just realised it is. Like, this is the first time we've ever actually spoken real time.
It helps that you speak English fluently. A lot of the artists that I'd want to talk to don't really speak English, so that's
True.
a big bonus.
True. I've tried to refrain from using a lot of, like, English slang, like when I said torch and stuff.
Oh, well, don't, because I think it's fascinating, and I will definitely ask about it if I don't, if I hear something I don't understand.
I think in my Patreon I said the other day CBA, and everyone was like, what the...
Oh, that's right, I Googled that. I still can't remember what it was now.
Can't be asked.
Oh,
I can't CBA to do that. Just CBA. I can't be asked. That's the thing we do. I had no idea you guys didn't use that. Thank you guys.
But I love learning about those little differences, little nuances.
Oh yeah, you can use it now. I see CBA.
If I can remember what it means.
It just like comes out. It's just like if you say you can't be bothered for something, it's just the same thing. It's just we add that little English sass of can't be asked.
Nice.
Little English sass, but
love it.
Is what it is. Thank you guys for watching. Oh my god, you're all so nice.
Sweet. Well, yes, like Daisy said, thank you all so much for hanging out, for your questions, and for supporting the stream. If you'd like me to do this again in the future, please let me know. I mean, it looks like people have already said that.
Yeah.
So thank you. And I do want to get more artists on like this too, because that's kind of what I want to start doing now, is just supporting the other musicians on YouTube. So
absolutely.
So thank you for being my first guest, and I hope that you'll be back.
I will, yeah. I love it. I literally just love talking, honestly. I really just do. Like, it's just fun. Not necessarily about myself. I really actually hate it, but...
Well, you did a good job.
Just talking about music is just fun. Let's just do a 21 Pilots themed live stream next,
Yes. That'll be 5 hours.
Yeah. I'll bring my chest of drawers next time. There you go. If anyone didn't see this.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Thank you all for watching. Go follow Daisy again. All her links are below. Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, all that.
Thank you.
Check out her projects, her covers, and everything. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up. So
cool.
Talk to you guys all later.